Hey folks, welcome to Your Inspired Life, and I'm your show host, Amy Hager. If you're new to the show, welcome. I'm currently running an 8-week accountability program called Shape Up for Summer. I thought it would be a good idea to give folks a place to come as a container to help stay on track with the goals that you want to follow up with for yourself. A lot of times we're trying to stay on track with goals for diet and exercise, and it can be a challenge to go at it alone, but I'm providing professional support with my 20 years experience as a dietitian and health coach to help you with tips to be able to stay on track to achieve these goals. And 8 weeks is a great amount of time to really focus in and make some of those habits become long-term goals of success. Now this week, week 2, we're working on positivity mindset. So today I want to go over 11 different ways to improve your positivity that don't require you to just be happy. A lot of these ideas for the positive emotions come from a book called Positivity by Barbara Fredrickson. I'll go ahead and put a link to that book in the show description so you can look it up yourself. It's a great read. You can also get it as an audiobook, but it has a lot of great research behind it. There's a lot of data that supports the greater exposure to positive emotions increases people's success and thriving in life. So let's not delay this. Let's get started. The first positive emotion is hope. One way to really connect to the feeling of hope is to remember your past successes, that you have accomplished things in the past, and that's a reminder that that hope can carry you forward to achieve future successes. I think it's a good reminder that things do work out, and sometimes you have to look to the past to get evidence of that. Number 2 is inspiration. Inspiration is where you kind of feel filled with ideas or creativity. I think a good way to connect to inspiration is to look at people who overcome obstacles. You know, sometimes you can get really inspired by some people's drive and some folks, you know, what they do to overcome their challenges in life. So one thing that really makes me feel inspired is to see someone either pushing themselves physically, like they want to climb Mount Everest, or maybe it's someone who's disabled, who's doing like some type of 5K or some kind of triathlon. So those are the kind of things that make me feel inspired, that someone's really overcoming their own perceived barriers. Number 3 is the positive emotion of humor. So don't discount things that are funny. Those can kind of really lift the spirits and really lighten a heavy load. And sometimes that can be the quickest way to get to feeling a little bit better when you're not feeling so good. So take stock of those funny memes and videos and America's Funniest Home, this and that, things that make you kind of giggle and laugh, and bookmark those. Save them for a day when you're kind of feeling down, because you'll be glad that you did. So here's an interesting one. I really like number 4 is serenity. So that is when things just feel really peaceful and calm, and you're really not running on those hectic vibes anymore. So an example of this would be spending some time in nature. Maybe it's a slow walk out in the woods or a park, or you're spending time in your garden. So notice I'm not saying working in your garden, just actually appreciating it, spending time in it, and taking it all in. That can raise that serenity emotion. This one's not in the book, but this is one of mine that's my favorite. And feeling accomplished is a really big boost for me. I love feeling accomplished or productive. So even just getting a simple task done, like a load of laundry or doing the dishes or sweeping the floor, sometimes just one little thing can be a boost up on a day when you're not feeling so good. So don't discount the power of feeling accomplished. Number 6 is the emotion of joy. The difference between joy and happiness is that joy kind of has a little bit more enthusiasm in it. And I think you can connect to that a little easier when you're involved in a hobby or an activity that you really enjoy, right? So you're really having fun, and there's just like, you're really immersed in it. And I think that, so if you have some kind of hobby like that, I think that'd be a great way to access joy. Number 7, I kind of grouped together to the 2 emotions of love and connection. So this is more like, sometimes it's like a physical feeling, and maybe time spent with a loved one or with a pet even. And I think a lot of us have been depending on our pets this past year because we haven't seen as many people in person as we normally would. So we spent a lot more time bonding with our pets and petting our cats and our dogs and playing ball with them and that type of thing. But I think you can really enhance those loving connections by spending time with loved ones. Number 8 is the sense of awe and wonder. So AWE, awe and wonder. And I think for me, an easy way for me to connect to these is watching like National Geographic shows. If I want to get awestruck by the beauty of the planet, or the immensity of the universe, or just the intelligence of insects. I mean, there's so much to really look at and just be awestruck by. It's just sometimes when you go either to the macro level or the micro level, you kind of get out of your immediate world. There's just a lot to be impressed by, I think, in our universe. So give that one a try. You can, I mean, whether it's watching a show or looking at photographs, sometimes just looking at the colors of a toucan in the Amazon forest, that is a positive emotion that you don't have to try so hard. And it's just a really good reminder that those kind of things are out there. So, in the evenings, instead of watching crime dramas, and now I'm watching National Geographic, and it's been a big mood changer. Number 9 is gratitude. I think this one's been popular and trending in the past several years. I think we know that it increases positive emotions to bring appreciation for things, especially accomplishments. So looking around for things that you've accomplished in your life and just looking at it again like, wow, I can't believe I did that. And that was a lot of hard work. And I really appreciate the fact that I put myself through this, or I appreciate the fact that I built this, or I appreciate the fact that it's over now and I'm enjoying this. So finding some things to appreciate, whether it's a personal accomplishment or maybe it's appreciating the sun that comes out after a cloudy day or a rainy day or a snowy day. So being able to find little things to be appreciative about is gratitude. Number 10 is pride. I know that I think is listed as one of the deadly sins, but for a lot of folks, it's a boost to really look at your personal accomplishments. I think it's definitely worth reviewing and giving yourself the credit and really just owning it. You're also appreciating at the same time, so it's kind of 2 in 1. But you're appreciating an accomplishment that you've done for yourself and just letting yourself enjoy the boost that it gave you personally. And then number 11, this one's kind of interesting, and the emotion is interest. So getting interested in something, that might be researching or learning about a particular topic. Maybe you want to learn another language. Maybe you want to learn another art form. Maybe there's something you're researching. You're trying to do research on something you want to purchase, or you're thinking about going back to school, or there's a lot of things that can kind of get us really interested in something. Maybe it's another hobby and you really want to know how to take apart a computer, or you want to know how to prune orchids, or on and on and on. But something that really grabs your attention and can get you really focused is a boost. That's a positive emotion. Anything that gets you into a state of high concentration with enjoyment and a little bit of challenge, that's a whole nother topic called flow state, which I'll talk about maybe later on this week. But interest is another valuable positive emotion that we can spend more time doing, and that can really boost us up out of the doldrums. Sometimes some of the negative emotions like boredom, they can lead to poor habits like eating when we're not hungry, or they can kind of tumble into other negative emotions if we don't keep them in check. So definitely keep this list of positive emotions and make your own examples for yourself. I think everyone probably will do better with their own personalized examples, and maybe some index cards or ways to organize it so you have a way to quickly reference them when you need them. I think for most folks, it's not super easy to just be happy, right? It's kind of hard to go from a negative mood to just suddenly feeling great. So maybe there's a stepping stone way looking at each of these types of emotions that I listed, and maybe there's a way to climb out of it. And always tomorrow's a new day. Sometimes the sun comes out tomorrow and it's a completely different vibe. But hopefully you'll have a way to be able to help yourself turn things around, stay positive, stay boosted, because that energy is the energy of movement. That's the energy of momentum. That's the energy of motivation. And that keeps you moving forward, and you're less likely to get stuck. When we get stuck is when we get frustrated and we can get off track. So guys, have fun this week with positive emotions. Let me know what your favorite ones are or your favorite activities. Leave me a comment below and I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. All right, take care. Bye.